Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sachidanandarupaya Vishwotpatyadihetave Tapatre Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayan Namaha. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्त देवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षये सूतमहामुनये शौनकादिऋषिभ्यो अत्र्यादिऋषिभ्यो प्रह्लादादि भक्तजनेभ्यो मत्स्यादवतारेभ्यो आदित्यादि अन्नवग्रहदेवताभ्यो नमः। श्री दक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय हयग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। माता पितृदेवताभ्यो नमः। आदिपरा शक्तिमात्रे नमः। आद्य शंकराचार्यवर्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणमेकादश स्कंदः मुक्तिर्हित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ चतुर्विंशोऽध्यायः सृष्टिक्रम विचारण प्रकृति पुरुष विवेकञ्च अथ चतुर्विंशोऽध्यायः. We started it yesterday, we'll chant it again. So out of so many prakriyas of reaching to the Lord given in our shastras by the great rishis, one of the prakriya is this prakriti purusha viveka, deep discrimination, and trying little by little to detach from the prakriti which is possible, which is to be made possible. And in this sadhana paddhati, another question also is answered as to, according to the shastra, according to the Rishi Parampara, how this creation got into manifestation. The process of the manifestation of this creation also is explained here. And then a person who is at the highest level of yoga sthiti, where he has fully conquered his equipments of antakarana, he will be able to pursue or understand, even practice both these paths. One path of creation already is there, but the second half, which speaks here, the dissolution of the gross into subtle, into causal, into beyond, that yogi will be able to do for himself. So, whatever, this is the way the Prakriti Purusha Mishravanam created the Vyashti and Samashti, entire Srishti which we are seeing. This type of study also helps us to pull our mind away from small little things of the world and give in our intellect a greater and higher scope. Anytime, let us know one thing, when the knowledge is expanding, then the emotions of mind, the tension, the what do you call the attractions of senses, etc., naturally they come lower, they become lower. This is another way of evolving. Keep on expanding knowledge, especially the Adhyatmika Jnanam. All aspects of it as said in our Shastras. The more knowledge expands happens, all the delusion, confusions keep going away because all delusions are born out of ignorance only. So, in this way, in general, the Shastra Adhyanam, in particular the Adhyatmika Jivan, in that also the understanding of creation by the mixture of Prakriti Purusha, all of them have so much of help when we can receive it. So let us do the chanting for some time. Om Atha Chaturvimshodhyayah Shri Bhagavanuvach Atha Te Sampravakshyami Sankyam Purvairvinishchitam Tadvignaya Puman Sadhyaha Jahyadvaikalpikam Brahmam Asid Jnanamatho Hyartha Ekameva Vikalpitam Yada Viveka Nipunaha Adau Krutayuge Ayuge तन्माया फलरूपेण केवलं निर्विकल्पितं वाङ्मनो अगोचरं सत्यं द्विधा समभवत् बृहतो तयोरेकतरो ह्यर्थः प्रकृतिशोभयात्मिका ज्ञानं तु अन्यतमो भावः पुरुषः सोऽभिधीयते तमो रजः सत्त्वमिति प्रकृतेरभवन् गुणाः मया प्रक्षोभ्यमाणायाः पुरुषानुमतेन च तेभ्यः समभवत् सूत्रं महान् सूत्रेण संयुतः ततो विकुर्वतो जातः अहङ्कारो यो विमोहनः वैकारिकस्तैजसश्च तामसश्चेत्यहं त्रिवृतो तन्मात्रेन्द्रियमनसां कारणं चित् अचिन्मयः अर्थस्तन्मात्रिकाज्जज्ञे तामसादीन्द्रियाणि च तैजसात् देवता आसन् एकादश च वैकृतात् मया संचोदिता भावाः सर्वे संहत्यकारिणः अण्डमुत्पादयामासुः ममायतनमुत्तमं तस्मिन्नहं समभवम् अण्डे सलिलसंस्थितौ मम नाभ्यामभूत्पद्मं विश्वाख्यं तत्र चात्मभूः सोऽसृजत्तपसा युक्तः रजसा मदनुग्रहात् लोकान् सपालान् विश्वात्मा भूर्भुवः स्वरिति त्रिधा देवानाम् ओक आसीत् स्वः भूतानां च भुवः पदं मर्त्यादीनां च भूर्लोकः सिद्धानां त्रितयात् परम् अधोसुराणां नागानां भूमेरोको असृजत् प्रभुः त्रिलोक्यां गतयः सर्वाः कर्मणां त्रिगुणात्मनां योगस्य तपसश्चैव न्यासस्य गतयो मलाः महर्जनस्तपः सत्यं भक्तियोगस्य मद्गतिः मया कालात्मना धात्रा कर्मयुक्तमिदं जगतो गुणप्रवाह एतस्मिन् उन्मज्जति निमज्जति अणुर्बृहत्कृशः स्थूलः यो यो भावः प्रसिद्ध्यते सर्वोऽपि उभयसंयुक्तः प्रकृत्या पुरुषेण च यस्तु यस्यादिरन्तश्च स वै मध्यं च तस्य सन् विकारो व्यवहारार्थः यथा तैजसपार्थिवाः यदुपादाय पूर्वहतो भावो विकृते अपरम् आदिरन्तो यदा यस्य तत्सत्यमभिधीयते प्रकृतिरिहि अस्य उपादानम् आधारः पुरुषः परः सतोऽभिव्यञ्जकः कालः ब्रह्म तत्त्रितयन्तु अहं सर्गः प्रवर्तते तावत् पौर्वापर्येण नित्यशः महान् गुणविसर्गार्थः स्थित्यन्तो यावदीक्षणं विराण्मया साध्यमानः लोककल्पविकल्पकः पञ्चत्वाय विशेषाय कल्पते भुवनैः सह अन्ये प्रलीयते मर्त्यम् अन्नं धानासु लीयते धाना भूमौ प्रलीयन्ते भूमिर्गन्धे प्रलीयते अप्सु प्रलीयते गन्धः आपश्च स्वगुणे रसे लीयते ज्योतिषिरसः ज्योतिरूपे प्रलीयते रूपं वायौ स च स्पर्शे लीयते सोऽपि चाम्बरे अम्बरं शब्दतन्मात्रः इन्द्रियाणि स्वयोनिषु योनिर्वैकारिके सौम्य लीयते मनसीश्वरे शब्दो भूतादिमप्येति भूतादिरमहति प्रभुः स लीयते महान् स्वेषु गुणेषु गुणवत्तमः ते अव्यक्ते सम्प्रलीयन्ते तत्काले लीयते व्यये कालो मायामये जीवे जीव आत्मनि मय्यजे आत्मा केवल आत्मस्थः विकल्पापाय लक्षणः एवमन्वेक्षमाणस्य कथं वैकल्पिको भ्रमः मनसो हृदि तिष्ठेत व्योम्नेवार्कोदये तमः एष साङ्ख्यविधिः प्रोक्तः संशयग्रन्थिभेदनः प्रतिलोमानुलोमाभ्यां परावरदृशामया इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे प्रकृतिपुरुषविवेको नाम चतुर्विंशोऽध्यायः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री भागवत शरणं मम श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम श्री सूत शरणं मम श्री सुखदेव शरणं मम श्री व्यास शरणं मम श्री नारद शरणं मम श्री कुमार शरणं मम श्री ब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्री विष्णु शरणं मम श्री परब्रह्म शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ओम मूकं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्ययं रसः अत पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामा मुञ्चदकरहिचिद। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणमेकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिर्हित्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ चतुर्विंशोऽध्यायः एकादशस्कन्धे। ॐ Salutation to God, to the entire Bhagavatacharyas, Gurus, which we have to do every day to keep us in ourselves in that good mood. Now, few things on our to today. First of all, the mind should not be given too much of chance for fears, imaginations, assumptions. Then the intellect should be exposed to Shastra. Then whatever Shastra tells us for sadhana, we should keep on doing. What also Shastra says is, even though you are doing sadhana, you being a jiva, you carry loads and loads of your own prarabdha. According to that, variety of things happen. In spite of all of that, going through them, don't leave your sadhana. Then will the sadhana give result or not? All these are questions of the mind, should not entertain, because every Mahatma has reached that by doing this sadhana, that should become a authority for us. And any other aspects of the mana, about fear of the result, about any, even the truth is there or not, all of them are mind projected, not allowing them, as well as not imagining that we are doing rigorous sadhana, that the result will come immediately. Even that will not happen. All the things, till the final vasanas are worked out, the result will not come. How many they are there, we don't know. And everyone in the beginning has this doubt only. Pata nahi how many vasanas there, how many janmas it will take. These all doubts will perish when everybody who have done, when they established in the path. path both of going through prarabdha doing dharmam as well as shastra guru indicated sadhana doing. When these two we are involved in, and also after few lives of struggle, it becomes a matured understanding to us. The life brings to me what it has to bring. I have to do what I have to do. So without much hassles, without much confusions, that person going through all what has to come, then does what is to be done. That stage you and I also have to slowly reach. So one day the health will not be, one day the mind will not be good, one day some other thing comes. So these are all the prarabdha everybody will have to go through. But that should not overpower us, nor it should stop us doing our sadhana. Whatever possible, keep on. So this should not make us lose our heart. It goes on happening. Sometimes such doubts happen. Yeah, am I on the right path? Am I on the path? Is it the path? Is there such goal there? Or is only some stories? These all are inevitable to everyone. But then consistently with faith. That's why the need of the doctor at the physical level to assure us you will be healthy, etc. So too the need of the guru who assures us, no, 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 you are on the path, it starts happening. And only till the time of some glimpses coming, that all these doubts will be there. But once we taste it a little bit, whether you call it a kindness of the mind, whether you call it the joy of purity of the heart, whether it is the establishment in the japa or puja, or even in the roop of God, kuch to, any one of them when they start happening, then that joy will inspire us further to keep up this one. Even again, while doing so, in between, again some fears, doubts come. Like that person want to make a company factory or make a house. So he full with full inspiration he goes. Land procuring only becomes delayed for some time. But somehow he gets it. By the time he gets land, he gets inspired and all planning is done. Loan sanction nahi hota. So he struggles here and there. The loan is sanctioned. By the time he celebrates, then the workers won't are they contractors etc are not available, or some festival comes, or some so he ups and downs in that person's project go on coming and going. The one who's committed, he goes on doing. One day it happens. In the same way, in our spiritual life also, when we are constructing, building our own inner building of joy and bliss of Adhyatmika Pragati, all these are inevitable. So keep that in mind and keep on moving. Charaiveti, Charaiveti, Charaiveti. That relentless, continuous, constant doing is the one which brings us out of non doing first. Then that doing, when it is endowed with lot of process followed as it is given, you can see the result also of it coming. Then slowly you'll understand what Shastra indicated the ultimate, what Gurus have advised is the best. And thereafter, there's no looking back. There's no looking here and there. There's only looking ahead and keeping on moving. So that's how we have to protect ourselves when we are with ourselves in the world. And as we become more sincere in our sadhana, Lord will make us to be so alone that you only have to manage your sadhana, your mind, and all your convictions. That's how the evolution happens. So at that time, all these ideas will help us. Or else either we'll go back to the earlier world of samsara, or we get doubts about all these things. We give it up. Nahi hona chahiye. So having said this much a few thoughts, we are seeing now here how from Paramatma, his own Maya say, the entire world is getting manifested. So what we see in the world are, if you can open it, the space is there, then the objects are in them, the beings are there and they are born, they are growing, they are dying. This is what is the entire some creation. In that also, the Jada Padartha also, according to time, they are changing. The Jivas also living being, according to their own ability, capacity, talents, they are doing something, getting something. This is what is Srishti. And to do something, everyone has got their own inner thoughts, inner sankalpa, inner kamana. So this is what the world. So entire world of whatever we are seeing now, the names and forms and beings and actions and births and deaths and getting the result of action, All that Srishti is a mixture of Paramatma and his Shakti. Prakriti is Shakti of Bhagavan, Purusha is Paramatma. And what we have to understand ultimately is throughout the world, whatever is there, Prakriti Purusha, Khela, play is going on. And through the yoga sadhana of detaching from the mana ityadi, we should learn the art of detaching from the Prakriti any time and establishing the immaculate, blissful Purusha Tattva. Another is in the process in which the creation has come out, same process one can go back to dissolve it. These are the few things. So yesterday we saw what was there in the Ayuga, only pure Purusha. Okay? आसीत् ज्ञानमतो अर्थ एकमेवाकल्पितम् आदा यदा विवेक निपुण आदौ कृत युगे युगे only the pure consciousness was there before the first creation started. Okay, that Paramatma only, what we have to understand is Maya Phala Rupena Dvidha Abhavat. It only has become two forms, took two forms. Now these are all, remember, right now only. Creation explanation के लिए ये सब बता रहे. But at the ultimate truth, when we discover, we understand all these have not happened. So when you see that the world has happened, this is a process with which the world has happened. When we reverse back and go to the self, we see the world has not happened. So both things have to be kept in our mind. So he only Maya and Phalarupena. He alone expressed as Maya, the Drishya Padartha, Phala is the Drashta. These are the two Rupa Paramatma only expressed. The one Jnanam, pure consciousness only, became to us the Maya or Prakriti other side. Here the Drashta, the Purusha here. It is at the samashti level. Vyasti individuals are not at born, at the samashti way. So, what was there before creation? Try to feel pure consciousness. That consciousness only, it itself appeared to be dichotomized as one is a Maya called Drishya, other is called Drashta. The Purusha, him we call as Ishvara. So, Ishvara, one Paramparama only, Ishvara in the Shakti, in that Rupa it expressed at that first level. Then what happened? Tayo ekatarohi artaha prakriti. That one of these two, that which we call as Maya, it is named also as Prakriti. It has two forms of later on to become Karya and Karana. Then Jnanam to Anyatamo Bhavaha Purusha. The other aspect is the knowledge, the knower, the Drashta is called as Purusha, whom we call as Ishvara. So here the Ishvara and Maya. These two have first emerged out for the further Prakriti, for the further creation, etc. Then here that Paramatma did Prakshobhanam in the Prakriti, and what made him do the Prakshobhanam is the variety of samskaras of the would-be jivas. Because of that only the Trigunas have come. Because if the aspect of jiva is not brought, then the purpose of creation will not be complete. And also, we right now not only seeing the Leela of Paramatma in the Jagat, but simultaneously we are seeing so many of the Jivas in this Leela of the Jagat are working and eking out their own Sukha Dukkha. Therefore, we have to take into account right from the beginning the importance presence of the Jivas. So, what do they say when we ask this question? They say, where from the Jivas came, sir? It comes from the earlier Srishti. When it went to Pralayam, in the Pralaya, all these Jivas were there in the Bija Rupa. Now in the new Srishti, they all are. Now to give them facilities, the Sankshopanam in the Prakriti is done by the Lord, which slowly pops up as these three gunas. Then from when this way the first creation is happening? The answer is there is no first like that. Either you have to accept there is no creation, listen carefully, or you have to accept it is eternally going on without beginning and end. It goes on having beginning and till When, uh, when you and I, as a jiva, transcend this and discover the self, then such whole world creation, dissolution, etc., will not be there for us. For Paramatma, as his Sankalpa goes on, so long that particular creation goes on. When it does the Vikalpa, it goes into Bijavastha. And again, it gets manifested in the next Srushti Kala. That is how this Srushti is Parampara going on. Srushti Sthiti Laya, Srushti Sthiti Laya. When did it start? That beginning is not mentioned. It is not right to ask. Why? Because in the beginning it was not there. Is it not? When did the snake start? On the uh, rope, we can't answer it because snake is never real. It's always a rope only. So in the what you call the Mithya Maya, it is anadi because of logic. Ki if it all the ignorance has begun sometime, before it began, it was not there. Then what was there? The knowledge was there. Now, from the knowledge, how can the ignorance come? Is it not? So that logical fallacy will be there. Therefore, that question is kept aside. It is going on, that's it. That question which has no answer, we need not worry. And that question on sadhana, which is possible, we should do it. This is what is the pure Vedanta. You can transcend the Prakriti and identify the Purusha and get liberated. Now, mind that. All else, some of the things cannot be given answer because there is no answer. One of the question is this one. See, where from these jivas came is eternally they are there. At the most one can be answered is it is the Prakriti or Leela of Paramatma. Then there the Pauranika Bhakti Shastra comes. Bhagavan for his own Leela himself with his Shakti has manifested the entire world. So this satisfies a Bhakta. Because he has no question. My God is all powerful. He can do everything and he did it. Wonderful. मजा आता है उनको. But the one who is not full bhakta, semi, and who has got the vicharana shakti, he wants to understand. So such person, this type of question he holds on to. So he is said, you have a chance to do sadhana, realize you need not worry about these 2-3 questions. Clear? Then what happened? Tayor ekataro hi artha. Fir tamo raja sattvamiti prakrute rabhavan gunaha. So how mayas prakshobhya manayah. As we said yesterday, when the Prakriti was in Samya Avastha, that was just disturbed by the Lord by his Sankalpa as per the requirement of the Jivas. Then that Prakriti as if took shape of these 3 gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamaha. Purusha Anumatena means because of the Jiva's requirement. Maya Prakshobhyamanayaha means by me instigating that Prakriti, disturbing it. Like a silent, matlab undisturbed water, we just do some like that or put a stone or stick, it gets disturbed. In that way, Bhagavan did the Prakshobhanam because the creation has to come. So up to this, how many things are understood? One pure jnanam in the beginning. He only became as drashta drashya, then Prakriti or Ishvara it is called. Then because of this Ishvara's Prakshobhanam on the Maya and also for the facility of the Jiva, when the Prakshobhana is done in the Prakriti, it became Triguna. वहाँ तक आप समझो. Then what happened? From that Trigunatmika Prakriti, one thing came. What came? Sutra Mahana. Sutra Mahan is that Mahat Tattva, which is the subtle body of the totality, has come. And this Paramatma, without whom the Prakriti cannot do anything, also has got expressed there. He is called as Sutrena. Here, technically, what they call as that Mahatattva is called as the Kriya Shakti, then the Sutratma, the Hiranyagarbha is called as Jnana Shakti. Or that Paramatma's Jnana Kriya Shakti only expressed as the Sutratma as well as the Mahatattva. Mahatattva is what? The entire world in its subtle form. Now we see the entire grass. Before it became manifest in the grass, when it is in the subtle thought form, that is called as Mahat. So you can from there see Maya, it has got its own bija for the creation. That Maya has been prompted, instigated by the Ishvara. Then slowly that Maya for the further expression has took the shape of total subtle bodies, not yet become grass. Mahat it is called. Then Sutrena Samyataha. Then this Mahat in the total level, in its next stage of modification, it has become Tato Vikurvataha Jataha Ahankaraha. It takes the shape of the Ahamkara. Kyunki unless that Aham is there, a systematic doing is not there. If something has to happen systematically in a proper manner, there should be a supervisor behind. Therefore, the presence of Paramatma in the Mahatattva alone made the Mahatattva to happen as the Samashti Ahankar. These are the process of creation. Now, in everything, Parabrahma is there. At the first beginning stage, second stage of at this type of Prakriti as well as Purusha, third stage of Mahatattva and Sutratma Rinagarbha, fourth stage of the Samashti Ahankara. Paramatma is always there, the conscious being, without whom nothing would happen. Prakriti by itself cannot do. And they are always right from the beginning, like we saw in Prashnopanishad, the Rai Prana combination. Same thing is this also. The combination goes on being together for creation. Prakriti cannot do anything without Purusha. Purusha cannot create anything without Prakriti. So dono and dono mein Paramatma hai. He only divided into two. Then creating it. So in that process, up to the Samashti Ahankara. What said here is ki yo vimohanaha. Here comes the vimohana means the moment the Ahankara comes at the Samashti level, it will not do vimohanam because that Samashti Ishvara who has taken the shape of Ahankara now for the further creation, at any time he can withdraw his Ahankara, then identify with the true self. But at the Vesti Jiva level, when it is said Vimohana means it is our Ahankara only which is so strong, not allowing us to rise above Prakriti and to reach the Purusha. The Mohanam aspect starts from Aham. That is why in the Pashu Pakshi there is no Ahankara. There was not much delusion. Therefore, there is no Punya Papa in them. Therefore, there is no Swarganarakara, all those prestigious egos that are not there. So too for you and me, in the stage of coma, or being unconscious, or in the sleep, or in the dream, there are no strong ahankaras. That is why that's not a samsara. Nobody filed a case saying that in my dream that person has taken away my money and all. Because वो ड्रीम में अहंकार आधा ही होता है, इसलिए वो ज़्यादा इश्यू नहीं बनते. But in the Jagrata Avastha, Aham is so full with its full identification, all the upadhis. It wants to maintain its speciality. Aham. That effort to maintain speciality is called a samsara. It has to drop its speciality along with the causes because of which it is thinking it is special. Then only it will reach the non-specific, all-pervading Paramatma. That is sadhana. We will see later. So Ahankara has come out. So Aham is what? Next stage of Mahatattva. Mahatattva is what? Next stage of Prakriti, which is Kshobhita by the Lord with its Trigunas. And where from the Prakriti it is Drishya and the Purusha Ishvara, both of them have come from one Jnanam, pure consciousness. Jnanam is existing, so Satyam Jnanam. This Ahankara, it's a process. For its next stage of evolution, Vaikarikaha, Taijasaha, Tamasaha, Cha iti aham trivruto. Because the Prakriti has its three gunas, those three gunas are passed on to this Mahatattva also, and that Mahatva's three gunas are passed to Aham. Therefore, that Aham gets into three modifications of three types of Ahankara. Vaikarika is Satvika, Rajasa is Rajasa, Tamasa is Tamasa. Taijam is Rajas. Vaikarika, Taijasaha, Tamasa. In this way, in the next stage of process, the Aham gets shaped into. After what? This Vaikarika, Rajasa, Taijasa and Tamasa, Ahankara is called as Tanmatra Indriya Manasam Karanam. This is the basic karana for Tanmatra, Indriya and Manasa at the samashti level. Then at the vesti level, all the jivas are given them. And here is the place where the mixture of chit and achit happen. चित्त इज द प्योर कॉन्शियसनेस, achit इज द प्रकृति. यहाँ से दोनों चिपक कर द एंटायर क्रिएशन का यहाँ से प्रोसेस एक्चुअल स्टार्ट होता है. चिदचिन्मय. So there the admixture. Before that, they are always separate only. Coming from one source, but not admixed up to get deluded. Only at the creation of these upadhis, then the chedachita, they mix up, giving us confusion. That is why he said, ki karanam chit achit mayaha. Tanmatra indriya manasam karanam chit achit mayaha. So, the three types of ahankara. Then from these three types of ahankara only, entire creation comes. First कहते हैं अर्थ तन्मात्रिकात जग्ने तामसात. So from this tamasi ahankara, all the tanmatras have come. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. That all is Paramatma's intelligence, Paramatma's vision. For the future creation, this is the material matter required. And that he has manifested from himself only because before creation he alone was there. So in the steps and processes from the Tamasic Ahankara, the Pancha Tanmatras came. These Pancha Tanmatras, in their mutual combination, become Sthula, and those lead to all the Sthula Dehas of the entire Jivarashi, including a small ant also, a fellow elephant also, even the entire big earth and cosmos. ये सब भी स्थूल है, ये सब तन्मात्राओं से बनता है, mixture of them, स्थूल पंचमहाभूतों से. Now what happened there? कि अर्धः तन्मात्रिकात् जग्ने तामसात्. Then indriyani cha, the indriyas are born from Taijasatu. From the Rajasika Ahankara, indriyas came. Sat Tamasika Ahankara, Tanmatra, from the Tanmatra, Dehas, as well as the objects, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandha. Then from the Rajasika or Taijasika Ahankara, indriyas have come which perceive these objects. Then indriyas cannot perceive by themselves. They should have the Chaitanya in them, and that Chaitanya belongs to the Devatas. Therefore, Tayasa, then Devata Nekadasha Vaikrutat. From the Vaikruta, Vaikarika means Sattva Hankara, these Devatas have expressed. And remember, in through all of them, the Chaitanya Paramatma hai, tabhi wo kaam karte. So what you have to understand by the meaning of Devatas is those functional abilities to function through every of the Indriya for the perception of those Indriya Vastus. This is all required for the Jiva because he has come with or he'll come with so much of the Prarabdha or Samskar. And all this process, what I said here, when one meditates for many times and days, one can really visualize all that. Srushti, this is how going on happening. Then what happened? So up to what we came? Pure Jnanam. Then it got into Drashta, Drashya, Prakriti and Ishvara. Then the Ishvara became Hiranyagarbha, Prakriti became Mahatu. Then the Mahat becomes Samishti Ankara and Ishvara was there mixed up in that. That Mahat Ankara only became three Sattva Rasi, Tamasic. Tamasic led to Tanmatras. Rasik led to Indriyas. Satvika is the one from where Adhisthana Devatas came. Ekadasha Devaha Asan. Then what happened? These all, when they got manifested, Maya Sanchoditaha Bhavaha Sarve. All these things, whatever are said so far, Samhatya Karanaha, who are made to come together and create the further world, are Sanchoditaha by me, prompted by me, ordered by me, guided by me. Then what did they do in their own coming together under my own order? Under Utpadaya Masuhu. They have created this entire Brahmanda. Then how it did it done? The entire videograph is not done, but it is done. Bhagavan ne unko order diya. Then these tanmatras, these Sura Shariras, oh sorry, tanmatras and this Indriyas as well as the Adhisthana Devatas came together, entire Brahmanda Nirmana they did. Remember, yet the Jiva Srishti has not yet come. Jivas are waiting there. They are waiting for the Dehas to be created for them to जी and enter. समष्टि में ही हो रहा है अभी भी व्यष्टि का नहीं हुआ. So first the mixture of all of that together they came, they created Brahmanda. What is Brahmanda? Mama ayatanam uttamam. It is my place of stay. So the Brahmana Nayaka Paramatma is there, staying there. All that as so it is said that having created, the Lord says Abhanayad, so Bhagavan se alag hai, but in him only all these are happening. That basic thought one should not forget. When the Brahmanda is created, then what happened? Tasmin aham samabhavam ande salila samstitau. That Brahmanda was kept in the water and into that I entered and I stationed there. Seated or standing or sleeping. One time seated, one says standing, one says sleeping. यहाँ तो standing लिखा है. Samabhavam ande salila samstitau. So that Brahmanda which is there in the water, I entered and stood there. These are all very subtle yogic prakriyas. Again, you and I with our minds untrained in the higher things may not conceive. But when we go through that type of exercise practice, under the guidance of Guru Yogi, with a total dedication for some lives, in that maturity, these all can be visualized. We are just now seeing what Lord Krishna is saying. Now, from me, he says, now, Mama Nabhyam Abhut Padmam. From my Nabhi came the Padma, which is Vishwakyam, which is going to be the cause for the entire Vishwa. Tatracha Atma Moho, and in that Padma only, the Brahma Deva has expressed, who is none other than Narayana only, for the creation with the Rajoguna, with all the matter that was already earlier created, he is going to create all the Deha Ityadi. So up to Brahmadeva coming from the Navi Kamal of Narayana. Narayana is always there. He entered into the Brahmanda which was in the waters. Brahmanda is made by all these Adhisthana Devatas, Tanmatras, Indriyas put together because of Sanchodhanam by Bhagavan. And all of them came from Satirasik Tamasik Ahankar. That came from total Ahankara. That came from Mahat. That came from Prakriti. Prakriti is nothing, never separate from the ultimate Jnanam, pure conscious self. Okay. Now what did Brahmadeva do? Next step में सह असृजत तपसा युक्तः रजसा मदनुग्रहात् लोकान् सपालान् विश्वात्मा भूर्वः स्वः इति त्रिधा. Saha, that Brahma, first tapasa, he did tapasya. Then I appeared to him, then I gave him anugraha. In that anugraha of me giving him, first anugraha is I gave him the Sarupa Jnanam, so that he should not be deluded when he is doing his work. Second is I gave him Rajoguna, which is a cause for creation. Third, I have appointed him as the Srushtikarta. Fourth, I have permitted him. With these four, he created Brahma. Now, this Brahma is created, the world. But is Brahma separate from the Narayana? Actually, not. Because all came from one Narayana only. But in the process of creation, the Narayana only at that stage appeared like that. Is Brahma separately staying from Narayana and doing his tapasya, upasana and getting his darshan? Very much yes. But how can it be when Narayana himself is there and his own expression, Brahma, That is what is a process of creation, which a gross intellect is not accepting, but little subtle you become and accept or understand this is how the process. तो ब्रह्मदेव नारायण से अलग नहीं है. Then when the Brahmadeva expressed has a part of Narayana got reduced, no, 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 he is always in completion. That is why we say Paramatma only in his own Srishti Shakti or Rajoguna Kriya Shakti appeared as Brahmadeva and created. Either you say like that or you say like this कि नाभि कमल से ब्रह्मदेव आए, तपस्या किया, उनको ज्ञान मिला, फिर परमिशन मिला, शक्ति मिला, he started creating. What did he create on? Lokan Sapalan. So all the lokas he created, the 14 lokas. Then the Lokapalakas he created. All those dehas only. Into those dehas, the qualified jivas have entered. And to both lokas and the jivas, the illumination came not from Brahmadeva, again from the pure conscious Paramatma, the Narayana only. Think it two, three, four times, as idea starts coming. So all the 14 lokas and all the lokapalakas, the dehas, he has created. That Vishwatma, that Brahmadeva. And what are the lokas? Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha. Mainly these three, which are the karma kshetras. And beyond Upar, Mahar, Jana, Tapo, Satya, they're all sadhana lokas. And also below, the so many lokas. And in between also, many he created. Brahmadeva with the matter, with his rajoguna. जो पंच महाभूत हो गए ना, जो स्थूल तन्मात्र हो गए, वो म्यूचुअल मिक्सचर हो गए, वो became पंचीकृत महाभूत. From that he made all that. Oh, and in that now comes in which loka who are put, like any camp, when all delegates get down from the bus, depending on their age or seniority, all that, we put them in different floors of the building where we are going to have a camp. In the same way, into these lokas which are created, who is sent where? Is said here, Devanam Okahasit Swaha. All devatas are given the place to stay, Swarga Loka, which is created by Brahmadeva with all facilities. Then Bhutanam cha Bhuv Padam. And all the beings which are in between devatas and Manushya, दोनों के बीच में बहुत सारे, उनको भुवः लोकम, द इंटरमीडिएट स्पेस इज द वन विच इज मेड एज प्लेस ऑफ स्टे फॉर देम. देन मर्त्यादीनां च भूर्लोकः, द मनुष्यास, द पशु, द पक्षी, द वनस्पति, all the jiva who deserve these yoni, they are given the place to stay as bhulokam. Then siddhanam tritayat param, those jivas who have done sadhana and now transcended the jiva bhava, now they are entering to Paramatma Bhava, their Tadatma with Upadhi is reduced, they are no more having any Ashuddhi or Samskara, they are given a Tritayat Param, beyond these three lokas of Bhurva Swaha, the called as Maharjana Tapa Satya. So clear? Therefore, in those four lokas, the Siddha Purushas are there. Siddha means who have controlled the mind, who have become masters of the mind, who have transcended the world created, imagined by the mind. To them, those lokas. Devatas are given Swarga. All beings are given Antariksha or Bhuvaha. Human, Pashu, Pakshi are given Bhuloka. Okay, Adaha. Then what about the below seven lokas of Artha? Asuranam, Naganam. Bhumehe Adaha. Okaha means accommodation. Asrujat created Prabhu by the Brahmadeva. So they are the below lokas, below the earth. The many are there. They Yaksha Naga lokas, Atala Vitala lokas, Rasatala Tala Tala. There also are jivas are there. There the Asura, Naga, these are all sent there. They stay there. Means what? For those jiva, whatever required for their convenience, they are kept there and they are sent. Because same people cannot be brought here. एक एक लोग जैसे इन हॉस्पिटल, each department is different for each patient. You can't have all at one place. It is very haphazard and confusing. The equipments required for cardiology operation are different from bone setting. No, you can't have this there, that there. When specifically you put cardiology department, only heart people go there. Ortho department, they go there. In all supermarkets also, don't they put it? All these groceries, the washing items, the milk items. So they put it, so you go there. In the same way, the jivas, as they deserve, such type of lokas are made in the intelligence of Narayana through Brahmadeva, and they are sent. And these jivas, whichever the loka they are there, always have the Purushartha Samarthya, except these Adholoka people who are only have to go through Prarabdha. Mainly those who are in the Manusha Loka. They have Purusha Samarthya to do anything and go to any of these lokas. Karma Yoni, it is called, Manushya's. Devatas also, specific Karma Yoni unka nahi hai. They only enjoy whatever punya they have earned it. That's why they also desire to come on to the earth to work in such a way to go to a higher, better lokas. And awajahi little bit always will be there, depending on the need, etc. Nothing is watertight. Some flexibility always will be there. Now he says here कि योगस्य तपसश्चैव न्यासस्य गतयः अमलाः. Gataya means lokas. Amala means the purest. Purest are the lokas for those people who have done yoga, those who have done tapaha, those who have done nyasa. Is it not? Yoga is by which you have control from the world. Tapasya is you have control from all the indriyas, mana ityadi. Then nyasa means you have discovered the emptiness of the world and gave it up. So yogi, tapasvi, jnani. That means in this particular life of ours, if we do only yoga sadhana throughout life, tapasya and sannyasam, no other indulgence involvement we do, then for us, amalaha gatayaha, the pure, immaculate worlds are given, where there are no tempting, disturbing, distracting disturbances at all. They are not there. Aram say, outer world, inner mind, everything is suitable, convenient for the sadhana. The samples of which can be these tapasthalis like that of some Rishi Munis places or the naturally tapo bhumis like Himalaya Parvatas and all of them. On the earth, they are the samples. Then when you go there, just nothing. The pahad is there, the forests are there, the rivers flowing, a small temple is there. हम जीने के लिए कुछ खाएंगे. Nothing other than that, only in tapasya. But all the bhogis go there, therefore, all those places also are made as bhoga bhumi. That's how people are doing. It's okay, different subject. Okay. So, amalaha gataya. Yogasya tavasasaiva nyasinaha gataya amalaha. Which are they? Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. So, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka are the Amala lokas where the yogi, tapasvi, sannyasi, they go. So, we should intensely involve in this sadhana and desire to go there so that everything is so convenient. And the stula dehas will not be there, first of all. So, all the problems of gross body are not there. What a beautiful thing you see. We should understand this स्थूल देह है उसको मेंटेन करना प्रोपेशिएट करना बा हाफ क्या more than 60% our जिंदगी goes only for देह फॉर साधक नॉन साधक तो 100% देह हम ओनली देह उसमें स्थूल देह ही नहीं बट जीव भाव है बस जीवा ध्यान करते तत्व में पहुंचना हाउ नाइस और देह कांति देहास सूक्ष्म देहास not a matter wala deha. Matter hai to then jara roga, all of them come. And then they come and give us darshan. We look at them, but they are only kanti rupa. Not when you touch them, you can't touch it. They appear as if in solid form. You can't. But then, if at all any interaction is required, they can again manifest into gross and do it and go. All facilities are there. Nothing is impossible in this world. In the some of the yogis, or some time pass, once in a life, a while, sometime. From that Maharjana Tapoloka, they come to Bhuloka and bless the jivas here and go. Some of them come and get caught up for some time here, and then they realize, "Arey yaar, kahan aake main fas gaya?" Again they go. Most of them, they know, no need to go there. The Lord will take care of them. They go ahead. Like when freedom fighting is there. Some to directly fight with the Britishers and die. Some help in giving money and all other. Some give shelter. Some of them only do puja ityadi, sankalpa. Some of them say the सृष्टि ये सब होता ही रहता है. They only are in meditation. Issue is one. So many are related, acting in so many ways. Like now also. Ukraine Russia war. Each one is contributing different way. So to this world of creation, even the Jano Tapo Satyaloka, great tapas means Mahatmas, each one in different way contribute or don't contribute. Some of when they look down on the earth, when they see the earth is suffering with so much of Bhautikavadam, then they take initiative, give up their sadhana for time being, come down as some yogi muni, and they create such a mass of huge dynamic activity that lakhs and lakhs and lakhs jivas are molded towards spirituality from Bhautikavada. Then they go. Right? Like patriotic time mein, some great people came, they inspired Desha Bhakti and they went. So too a scientist, a scientific technology. Some people, some great Shakti should come to initiate. Okay. Sometimes it can happen by Ishvara Prerana, sometimes they themselves do. What they are doing is not wrong, therefore Ishvara doesn't mind. ठीक है बेटा मेरा करने का था तुम किया है कोई बात नहीं. These all happen. And all these lokas, all these siddhas, all these are very much there. Yogi loka, tapasvi loka, nyasa loka, badya. We now slowly evolving from lower, come up to human level now, we can seek to enter into those lokas. And all the mana kalpana, in the kalpita mana, the raga dvesha, which are so strong in this bhulokavasi, all of them are not there. They look at each other, talk to each other, they help each other. They are such a pure heart. They will not have any ragadvesha. Any of those which human minds have, they have transcended. That is why they go there. Like even in the Bhuloka, as the time grows in its maturity, people as they grow in age along with age, when they are regularly listening to Shastra Satsang, a comparatively better state of mind they develop in which they know things, what's their position, they have that vairagya. होता है वो निरंतर शास्त्र श्रवण साधना करने से after the age of 40-50 you will have that clarity, not out of any inner and outer compulsion, but the clarity by which you're not attached to anything. There's no raga dvesha, whether to the people or things or happenings or experiences, untouched. Wonderful it is. Such people, if the residue vasanas are not there, they go there. Always, again next life they will come. Again for some more time they go through sadhana. Then once paripakvata comes, then they are transported to those lokas. Remember, all those lokas still have the chance to fall down. Self effort they have to put again not to fall and rise above. But chance of fall are less. Like once we become human, in this also more and more Adhyatmic sadhana, less are the chances to go back to the animalic yoni. Unless that man has lived such an animalistic life. Is it not? Therefore, we can be assured of quick human lives than absolutely worldly people who are living life like animals only for bhoga. We are thinking about the spirit or the self or the God or the truth or reality or realization. Now, these are the things which qualify one to get the human body. Because in the human body only these thoughts or vasanas or knowledges can be worked out. So inevitably Bhagavan will give us the human life only. That assurance you can have. Secondly, again to get human life at least minimum, we have to keep on being in spiritual. Drop spiritual, live like animal. You only are ordering animal body. देखो, when we do only live a life of artha and kama at the cost of dharma moksha, absolutely animals, because animals artha they kill some animal, kama they enjoy. There is no dharma of maya karu ya na karu. There's no question of moksha in them. So if somebody is living that life only, they'll only get that. But some who become sensitive and started living life of dharma, is it not? So dharma is a human being's nature. So he'll be put in the human life, but he'll be only at the level of dharma artha kama. But along with the duty orientation, if starts inquiring or if he starts surrendering to the infinite power, so he is doing some higher sadhana than the dharma. So in the human, they will get a more convenient deha as well as place where the moksha purushartha can be pursued. You and I must have done all that last life. We were in this life, along with dharma, little of moksha purushartha, doing opportunities we are getting. At least we are studying shastra. Then slowly, little japa through that mana niyantrana, little upasana through that ekagrata, little of yoga by which chitta vinodha, little of vicharana by which ignorance is going delusion. थोड़ा थोड़ा तो कर रहे हैं हम, पूरा तो नहीं. So that will inspire us, our Lord, to give again a human life next. That's how evolution has to happen. Okay. Then after that, 15th sloka summarizes everything. What is that? Maya kala atmana dhatra karma yuktam idam jagat. By me, who is in the form of kala, initiate into this jagat a new principle called as karma. Okay. And means the freedom is given for the karma. The buddhi karma is knowledge, the mano karma is sankalpa, the sharira karma, indriya karma are the karmas. And what happens in that guna pravahe tasmin ujmajjati nimajjati. Once I introduce the karma principle to them, taking the help of these three gunas, the human beings in all these 14 lokas, unmajjati, go to the higher worlds, nimajjati, again fall, up and niche, upar niche. So this has connection with the earlier portions of Bhagavata, where mm, in the Bhikshu Gita also it was told. Okay. Mm. In our Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashya. Everywhere it is told, so many places, we have the Sattva Guna Vicharana, Sattvic Karma, we go to higher world. Rajo Guna Vicharana, Rajo Karma, come back to the Artho. Tamasika Vicharana and Tamasic Karma, we go back to the lower worlds. So this is how Bhagavan Krishna brought up to this topic that the Brahmanda created, in that Dehas are created, into that Jivas have entered, to that Paramatma gave his Chaitanyam. When they became Chaitanyam, they looked around, they found they have the Upadis, they found the objects outside, they found the mind in them, then they use the mind according to Trigunatmakata, then with each of the Gunatmakata, that type of the activity they went on doing. Accordingly, from one loka to the other, they keep on moving. Like you and I, when the Sattva is there, from home we go to temple. And the Rajoguna is there, from where we go to some social work or any company. When the Tamoguna is there, we go to club and all that. Guna pravahe tasmin unmajjati nimajjati. So what mainly we have to catch is, in this world in which the entire worlds are there, each jiva is coming and going because of his karma, and while doing that karma, he is under the influence of the gunas which are always in the pravaha. Then, one or two things with which we conclude today is, having gained this knowledge, in which the presence of the gunas are becoming aware of, we can by choice, little, total choice will not come to us one day. But by choice, little, we can shift our priority guna from the tamas to the rajas to the sattva. Accordingly, evolution happens. 100% you can't have meditation and realization one day. But it's sankalpa for meditation. Sitting for 2 minutes, sitting and saying Om Namo Narayana, one shloka chanting, इतना तो कोई भी कर सकते हैं ना. इस थोड़ा सा जो करने का कैपेसिटी है उसको हमें यूज करना है. Then it goes on growing, goes on growing. Again, because of prarabdha and vasana, there is a chance for distraction and falling down. So we have to be alert again. Like every day, I conclude class with the thought again that evening another class is there. That another thought class is prompting me to prepare for the next class. That is Sattva Guna. If I say now after this particular date, I am stopping all classes, that Sankalpa will be fulfilled in the stopping of classes. Then instead of this Sattva Guna karma, something else I start doing, Rajasic Tamasic. That result I deserve. बट आई कैन से नो भगवान ऑलवेज शास्त्र के अध्ययन में मैं रहूं, शास्त्र का मनन चिंतन में रहूं, एंड आई कैन हैव संकल्प फॉर मी, आई कैन हैव प्रेयर टू द लॉर्ड. दैट मच फ्रीडम भगवान गेव. व्हेन यू यूज दैट फ्रीडम, then increase the sattva guna in us, sattvika activities, then we grow. Now again the yugas, kruta yuga shuddha sattva guna, treta sattva with rajas, then dwapar yuga rajas with sattva, and kali yuga tamas with very less rajas, almost minus sattva. We are now, because of vasana, we are born here. Tama means only eat, enjoy, sleep. Rajas is for the sake of that do some action. Sattva is used only for action, intellection, but not for knowing dharma, dharma, papa, punya, not for swarga, naraka, not nitya, nitya. Even the so-called all scripture studying people, how much of an inquiry they are in our satya, satya, it is questionable only. Where the Kali Yuga is so powerful. Yet the desire can be maintained. That I must be in Sattva utilizing it for the Atma and Atma Viveka to know the self. This desire is the one which slowly evolves us to those lokas, those worlds. Okay. Then like this, Aneka Koti Brahmandas are there. To all of them, each one there is a Brahma. But one Narayana is there for maintaining all of them. That is another version. Let us talk about our Brahmanda only. Why to worry about other? इतना काफ़ी है आज. Tomorrow in the 5-6 slokas, little more deeper aspects told. Later, how at the time of Pradaya, Bhagavan dissolves every stula into Sukshma, Sukshma into Karana, into Ahankara, into Mahat, into Avyakta, all that into Parabrahma, that is taught. And he in the Falashruti says, the one who is very clear about these things, he will never be caught up in the reality given to the world. That to that extent, his samsara is reduced. Secondly, the one who knows that mukti is in discovering the Paramatma Tattva and tries for that. None of these things anymore bind. That's why the importance of this particular Sankhya Yoga of a Prakriti Purusha Viveka. What's that? Tomorrow we see. Sarvam Krishna Arpanam. Very good. Yeah. Narayana. Dina Dina Gandam.